Welcome back to tristatefootball.com for this week's edition of Crossing the Goal Line with Greg Shoemaker and myself, Brandon Saho. As always, this week we're going to take a look at the undervalued players on top teams in our tri-state area. First off, the two teams from Kentucky, Greg.
Yeah, when I talk about Kentucky football, one of the guys on the defensive side, one of the top players in Kentucky, is Jared Bowling, the linebacker at Simon Kenton. The young man's got 105 tackles this season, over 250 for his career. Also this season he has 5 sacks, something new to his repertoire this year, rushing the passer. Also has a fumble recovery and an interception. I like that kid. He's the leader of that defense. It's a big reason why the Pioneers is 7-2 this season. And then at Highlands, there's Colin Seidel. Seidel's never been a star or the go-to featured player at any point in his time at Highlands, yet the young man's got 27 touchdowns in his career, Brandon. That's an average of 9 a year, and he hasn't even finished his senior year yet. A big-time return artist as well. He's had 5 kickoffs in his career for touchdowns. He gets a lot of his all-purpose yards that way. He's nearing 2,000 all-purpose yards for his career. So Colin Seidel has always been a big factor in that Highlands offense, and 28 wins. It's hard to argue with his play on the field. So when we look at guys that are undervalued, Brandon, a couple guys in Division II in Ohio that you have on your list, don't you?
Yeah, from Turpin, there's a linebacker named Ben Versosa. And, he's undervalued maybe because of his size. He's 5'9", 168 pounds. Not a big guy, but he plays bigger than his size. He's helping his team to hopefully their 4th undefeated regular season in 7 years. He leads the team in tackles with 31 and also has 2.5 sacks and an interception. This guy is all over the field and really helping his team become one of the predominant teams in our Division II rankings here in Ohio. Another guy like that going from defensive side to the offense would be Edgewood. They have a guy, who's Corey Manning, and he was a second-team all-conference player last year. Really a strong presence up front. Not one of the biggest guys. He's only 6'2", 255, which, maybe a little bit bigger than, the average guy in Division II. But he protects the passer, pays way for his running back, and he's one of the reasons why Edgewood is 7-2, and he's a key factor to their success. He's not one of these, skill position guys, but he's one of these undervalued guys that really helps his team. And you have another guy in Ohio that's up in Division I for Coleraine.
You're right, Brandon. And last year I saw DeTwan Smith for the first time in the playoffs, and he really came to life. He came out and we expected big things this year from him, and we are not being disappointed whatsoever. Smith has 8 touchdowns rushing. He's got almost 800 all-purpose yards, 10 total touchdowns on the season, and he's got 2 sacks on defense. With so many weapons with Ramsby and Chris Davis and Hudson and all those guys, it's DeTwan Smith. When the going gets tough for Coleraine, he's the man that go to more often than not, and he comes up with big plays at big times, and he will do it in the playoffs again.
And these are our underrated players on top teams. So be sure to look out for them in this final Week 10 and also throughout the playoffs as they try to make it to Canton. For more Tri-State football news, visit tristatefootball.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at TSFootball.